me a sec. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Yes, you can. Okay. Hi. Soul being absolutely beautiful every time. I hope you're well today. So the title of this video is it truly, is it true love, or or it's something else, right? Or is it survival? So as many of you might be aware, you can notice that a lot of people are becoming more aware of distortion and truth. And we have been conditioned to think what truth is instead of actually feeling what truth is, right? We have been taught to connect with life from our neck up instead of from our heart space. You know, we need to come from our heart space and actually let our heart space inform us on how to respond, not react to life. So when you find yourself abandoning yourself to maintain a relationship, to keep a relationship, you are co-creating distortion. And this distortion, the source of distortion is trauma. It is whatever happened for you to not trust your intuition, for you to not believe that your wholeness is enough. So when we see the beauty industry, when we see fashion industry, there's this, the distortion that people are selling from is that you're not beautiful enough until you get this product. You're not pretty enough until you get this product. You're not desirable enough until you look like this. And it is when we are buying into that, right, from that declaration, we're outsourcing our power. We're not finding our power from within ourselves. So we're remaining in that loop of seeking for love and fulfillment outside of ourselves. And when you're not bringing awareness to the emotional imprint that is motivating you to source love outside of yourself, you always find yourself as a victim to other people. You always find yourself attracting chaos into your life because you're not paying attention to the chaos that actually started within yourself. So when you're creating devotion from survival, it's actually based on codependency. It's not based on sovereignty. It's not based on the divine blueprint of love. It is, I can only be happy if it's you. I can only be desirable if you show up like this. I can only be the one if you show up consistently this way, if you say this way, if you say this thing, right? It's not based on becoming and being that version of you and not needing anyone else to validate it. But when people do, it's just cherry on the top. It's just condiments. It's just spices. It's just glitter. It's not, it doesn't take from your easiness, right? It's just adornment. But when you're seeking that wholeness from other people, there's that, there's no spine, there's no erectness, there's no container to hold your soul blueprint, because you're seeking that container in somebody else, in something else, and that's not true sovereignty. And this is where you find yourself looping because your mind is not broken, and you're not looping because your mind is broken. You're looping because your mind is pointing you to the emotional blueprint that is keeping you in the state of consciousness. So your role as a co-creator with life is to be like, okay, these people keep triggering this aspect of me, keep triggering me in this way. This is the portal that has been opened for me to free myself from this mental loop. Instead of seeing it as like, oh my gosh, it's them, and blaming them. And you're not blaming yourself too. You're not seeing yourself as the problem. You're seeing yourself as the portal. They're just pointing you where exactly, specifically, in your heart you're exiting from. So we're not abandoning our emotions, we're not bypassing our emotions, we are facing them, we're experiencing them and allowing that experience to transform us. So it's not about thinking your way through transformation, thinking your way into devotion, thinking your way through a relationship. Like, oh, if I fix this, then I'll be lovable. If I do this, then I'll be lovable. If I do more, then I'll be my dream self. No, you already are your dream self. The fact that you desired it, it means you already are. You're just transforming and rearranging everything in your mind and in your heart to become it. Your soul has already decided. Your human is just catching up. But you're becoming more aware of what's preventing you from already being. But being aware is not the wrong thing. It's just how are you gonna use the resources that you're now aware of to benefit you. And this is something that we are doing in the Sovereign Mind Activation. Want more information? You can find it in the About section. We upgrade your mental operating system in just 3 weeks so that you are able to hold your soul's blueprint. Because when you're seeking solutions and answers from other people, when you're pedestaling other people as the only answer to your whole life problems, you're not sitting in your God-given throne. We all have a God-given throne, right? We all have an inner authority. What you see in another person who's in their power, it's you. It just looks different because you have a different soul blueprint. You have a different role in supporting our ascension into new earth, right? So it's not about, oh, what is, or what do I need to change right now about myself? That's survival consciousness. You want to upgrade to your divine consciousness. And there's a video somewhere here about that. Shifting from survival to divine belief system. So you want to break out of this loop, and that's how you do it. So it's not about understanding love, it's about experiencing love in each moment. And love just is. It sees you as you are and creates a safe space for who you are. So like Rumi said, you want to be more aware of how you're creating barriers from love penetrating you, love permeating into your entire existence, because love is what heals you, is what transforms you, right? But that love, yes, it can often come from outside, but we want to overflow from within ourselves so that we're not at the mercy of other people who don't have the best intentions for us. It's about being the standard of love we desire, because we always are the standard. Yes, we've been conditioned to the standard of love we receive because we internalized our caregivers, internalized belief system around love. But you're not your caregivers, your parents' belief systems. You were just conditioned by them. You were born with your own belief system, your divine belief system. And you chose your parents for a reason, because you knew they would help you unlock this specific formula you need to embody for new earth. There's perfection in everything. So your trauma is not wrong. Your trauma is the way through. There's precision in everything. In creation, there's precision. Even though it looks like chaos, there's precision. Everything is perfect. Everything from the moment you were born to now, that time, that portal, right? All those experiences you had, the people you met, even the ones who hurt you, they are portals. But when you're viewing it as from your lower self, you victimize yourself. But when you look at it from your higher self, you see it as perfection. You see it as an opportunity to become more powerful, to embody more of your soul blueprint, to alchemize with more precision. So you want to really pay attention, like, am I creating this connection? Am I seeking this connection from my wound, or am I seeking it from really loving and respecting all parts of me that I'm aware of. Not from rejecting and abandoning them, because that's a different resonance that attracts a whole different experience. And you really want to explore, like, why am I afraid to be alone? Why am I afraid to be still? What am I afraid will be revealed? Why am I afraid that if I surrender, what will come to be? What is the story there? It's all about the story. And you want to really pay attention to where the story is leading you into your heart, right? That mind-heart connection. That's the secret. That's the real secret. So it's not about manifesting to get what you want. Yes, that's the cherry on top. But for you to actually enjoy what you're manifesting, and for you to be sure that it's really what your soul desires, not your ego wounds, right? Not this self that you've created and projected from your wounds, but from your true self, from your whole self, right? Because that's where the good chaos comes in. The good chaos is where you're starting to rearrange everything so that your inner oasis, you're creating from your inner oasis, right? You want to create from your fullness instead of creating from your emptiness, because when you create from your emptiness, you're attracting more emptiness. You're attracting more mirrors that validate that. So you want to lead yourself first and say, actually, this is what I want. And you go there first, rearrange everything that you have already been aware of, everything that you've been given, right? Or everything that you already are. Rearrange it. Not rearranging it from abandonment or from like judging yourself and shaming yourself, but rearranging it from creator, your creator consciousness. Like, oh, I just need to change how I perceive this. And this is how you actually become magnetic, because you're not seeking anything outside of yourself. You're finding it. Everything that you've been seeking in other people, you're pivoting from external source to internal source. It's like that continuous dance with life. And people are like, ooh, there's something about that person. I just don't know what it is. It's because of this energy, the way you're playing with your energy. So it's not about doing more. It's about being more in tune with the energy you're creating life from, the energy you're doing from. And this awareness comes from actually being more instead of doing more, right? So instead of seeking love outside of yourself, wondering and thinking like, oh my gosh, is this love? Does this person love me? Are they really into me? Ask yourself, are you in love with this version of you? Right? Because it's frequency. It's how you perceive yourself through that other person. It's how you think they perceive you, right? Because it's that energy that you're playing with. Other people have opinions, are going to project how they perceive you because of their own conditioning, because of however their inner world is arranged. It has nothing to do with you. That's where you end and they begin. So you want to give people free will to experience the wholeness without getting in between that. You just want to gather all your energy and keep it within yourself and love yourself unconditionally, regardless of how other people perceive you. So if this work resonates with you, I invite you to the Sovereign Mind Activation. Again, you can find more information in the About section and currently enrolling link. But I'd love to hear what resonated the most, what this message channeled, activated within you. I'm always curious. Otherwise, see you on the other side.